What up, what up? Bankroll Tim, bet it up. Bet it up. All right, y'all. So, working on the green Regal. Had to come in here today, move everything around. You can see how much the trans is leaking. So, it's more than just blowing out or on the blow off on the top. Something's got to be leaking the pan or something. I'll check the pan bolts for them and see if they're loose. But anyway, so got the box from Trick Chassis, of course. Trick Chassis, Alex. They got this new style end for the billet. So now we got these billet aluminum pieces on the end instead of having the metal cap ones, because this is a billet steel. A lot of people don't know, you got billet steel and you got billet aluminum. So normally when you hear billet, you think of aluminum. But yes, now it's got billet aluminum ends, boom. The weld out pieces right here that go to the top, boom. I like to take and bevel the edge, so that way when you weld it, it fits in there better. You gotta watch out on the outside of it, because see how much room you got to this piece, so you don't wanna interfere with this piece. But it goes on the inside, just like I got it set up here. These nuts are just mock-up nuts to put on here to hold this together, so I can get it up in there and weld it to that cross brace. But there's undercoating on that cross brace, so I gotta grind that out. Boom. So what we got here is some 207 shocks. And the 207 shock is a little bit shorter than the 12s that were on here. And they're a little bit longer than the 10s that I was gonna go with, but couldn't get my hands on a set of 10s for right now. So this is where they had this setup, and the spring was hidden right here, which you can see the mark. The springs were hitting at the top of the shock bracket right there, boom. So all that was jamming up the travel. And then, like I said, the spring, you can see that's a variable rate spring. And the variable rate spring, I moved the rubber bushing right there, or the rubber seal, so you can see how the travel is. This, you can see all the marks on each coil. They were hitting each other. And then, check this out. That's how bad it was hitting up in the top. So it was hitting and binding, so nothing was moving properly. You know, this car, like I said back in the day, who did it, how it was done, the cross brace. So how you could have prevented this is the cross brace could have went a little bit more back and would have gave that clearance. Or if you'd have went a little bit more forward, then you would have came off the back with the short tabs. So I have a set of short tabs, which are Trick Chassis, right here. So these are shorter, so that we don't come off too far. And then how much I put it on the tube, this way or this way, which will be up a little bit. And I'm gonna keep the top of this shock from hitting up in there. And I'm gonna come off the back. So, something like that, which they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They had 5 holes that they were hooked to. If I have to go down 1 to be 1 under to keep it at the height that he had it, which I measured 27 inches from the ground up to the chrome on both sides. And that was on my uneven ground here, and both sides were measuring the same. So now, like I said, I gotta clean off the back of this for the tabs. I gotta clean off the area here for the anti-roll. I'll clean off wherever the anti-roll ends up here, which this is a 9-inch, so it will come off the back of here. Everything else is already set. I double checked that they were in square. These brackets right here, you can see are on a little bit of an angle. Let's see. You can see they're on a little bit of an angle this way. So the shock tabs, when they were put in, you can see are a little bit more that way. So of course, I'll go with the flow of this and put them in just a pinch more at the top. Boom. And they'll be the short tabs, or if I have to use the long tabs, obviously I'm not gonna reuse the ones that are in there, but All-Star makes the longer ones, 1/2 inch hole, 3/16 boom. So you can see the depth difference of these. I mean, you know, just a little bit, but it helps, you know. So that way you can get everything in the right spot, position. Maybe I will go with the longer ones and go up just a little bit higher. But once I get this bolted up in here, I'll figure out exactly what I'm gonna do. But for this shock, or spring to have been hitting here, and this one to not have been hitting here, it's either the tabs or the crossbar is off center. And I don't know. Then somebody went through and did the spray on undercoating, which is horrible. I've said it plenty of times, please guys, don't get underneath your car and put this spray on undercoating. It's garbage. It's just garbage. Looks like hell. It's not worth it. Take your time. If you want to use a scuff pad, you know, any type of scuff pad, scuff some areas, stuff like that, and get you a rattle can and some paint. If you got some stuff you don't want to put paint on, get some painter's tape, put some painter's tape on it, and then paint some shit. But I mean, you know, this tub job, like I said, was fucking horrible, which was done a long time ago by somebody. You can see this right here rubbed a little bit, but it rubbed more of the undercoating than actual metal. The backs of the rims are fine. They're not using these fuel lines, but why they left them out here, I don't know. There's a bolt right up here on the frame and a bolt right up over here on the frame that you can unbolt the tabs, move them in. But again, they're not being used. So yeah, that is what I am working on today, trying to get this thing buttoned up. The rear end is all set. I'm gonna get the anti-roll up in there. Get the anti-roll up in there, and then get it welded in, get the tabs on the rear end, get them welded on. Then I'm gonna be putting these coilovers in and setting it down and figuring out from there. I'm gonna put some bracing on the frame right here. So I gotta clean up all this shit and this, and then unbolt these, move them up, which these are not being used either. Move those up out of my way, and I can get a nice tube in here. So I'll probably try to keep the tube as far as I can, as close as I can to all this. Maybe more of a little bit of an angle, but I'll stop it short in case later on we do a ladder bar cross member on this car. But that sucks because of these mufflers being so long. But I do have 2 ladder bar cross members here and 1 on order. So if I have to put one in here, I can put one in here, which is gonna help because this side you can see is bent up too and it's hitting the floor. The maroon car is way worse than this, but I'll film that too when it gets up on here. But yeah, this side's nice and slimy, which you got the trans fluid, but then it's taken off the undercoating. So it's a messy, nasty job, and that sucks. But yeah, trying to help out the best I can. I'll get this video up here in a little bit, and then I'll video it, of course, when it's done, and show you guys the business of that. Alrighty, a little short video. Maybe I'll put something else on the end of this. IG, you're not gonna see me putting too many reels up anytime soon because somebody reported one of my reels and it stopped my monetizing. I had did a review on it, and it takes 3 to get it to where you lose your monetizing for 3 days or 30 days. So 2 of them they corrected, which one was the one that somebody claimed something, which was bogus. People that are out there doing that shit to stop people's money is just hate, straight hate. But so I can't make any money off of Reels on IG until I think the 13th. So after the 13th is when I'll be able to post more Reels. So I'll put some pictures up and stuff like that. So like right now, I'll take a couple pictures of this and put it up, but I won't be putting up Reels. And then when I do put up Reels, you'll probably see some duplicate Reels, maybe change the music up, shit like that. I got a violation on YouTube for one of my shorts because the shorts had music to it, but what I was under the understanding of was that the shorts wouldn't allow music, this or that, or they would count whoever's music it was. So I ended up deleting that one, which wasn't a big deal, but I'm not sure if the violation stuck, but YouTube has it where 3 times, like IG. So 3 times and then they delete my channel. So kind of sucks to have to think about that, but if you put up a video on YouTube, a video compared to a shorts, if you put up the video and it has music in it, it'll just demonetize that video, meaning you won't get paid for that video because it has music. I have a few videos out of the fucking 700 or whatever that have music in there, and I don't get $1, I don't get a penny from them. So why doesn't shorts work that way? If there's music and it's not accepted, it should just be that bam, you don't get paid for it, you don't get monetized for it. But they gave me a violation, so I don't know exactly how far that's gonna go, but first time in many years. But all right, y'all, Bankroll Tim, bet it up. I'm trying to do the quick shit on this one, get it out the door. If I don't finish it tonight, I'll have it finished tomorrow when I get here. I've been here since 8 o'clock this morning. Been trying to work a better schedule and get out here earlier, go home, relax, shit like that. But yeah, this is a very nice car. Like the interior on this car is beautiful. The way it was done, very nice car, very nice car. All right, y'all, that's it over here because, you know, I ain't done shit to the Malibu, but I got to put a ladder bar crossmember in that, finish frame notching it and everything. But like I said, it's Jordan's Sideways Productions. I do believe he's in the middle of changing his name because I think somebody else owns something with the name, but I don't know exactly how that's going. But if anybody wants to give him a new name or shoot him some new listings or new type of names, I don't know. But Jordan, you know, he's got that 67 Chevelle 4-door running. So yeah, and then my boy up here, Jason, his car, I gotta put a ladder bar cross member in it, boom, tie his shit together, put the cross brace in it, get the rear end set up in there. But we gotta do some cleaning in here, which my son is helping Jordan today. He didn't have school, but he's gonna be getting up in here and doing some cleaning, and we can get this shit going. And of course, Donzel, Oklahoma Cuddy. I'll have some downtime once the red or pink, whatever you want to call it, Regal gets on the lift. I'll be able to have a little bit of downtime. The center section's got to be taken out of the 9-inch, the third member, and it's got to be sent back to Winter Circle and then sent back to Mosier because I guess it makes some noise. So I'm gonna go ahead and help him out with that. But it's gonna leave this lift dead for a couple days. But the way that I got to do the ladder bar cross member and tie it all together, I'll be showing you that. But it's gonna take a little bit of time, a little bit of skill. Mock up, see if it's gonna work, maybe change the mock up, get it set up real nice. But I'll be to show you guys that and try to stay back on the YouTube videos. And that's where we're at today, guys. Bankroll Tim, bet it up. Here's what you don't see much. My old ass. Yeah. All right, y'all, bet it up. I'm out. Peace. What up, what up, what up? Bankroll Tim, bet it up. Up in the shop. It's hot. I'm sweating. Dealing with BS. Anyways, I got this 80 Malibu on these 24-inch billet specialties. The back, I believe, is a 7-inch lip. Got a little small block in it. Got coilovers in the front, but it's got stock control arms and stock steering. This wheel over here, I brought it out a little bit, but I need to bring it out a little bit more. So basically it's here for an alignment. So I do the camber caster first, and then I'll do the toe in, toe out. That's why it's sitting on the alignment plates. The back of the car was done by, I'm not even sure who, and if the owner was here, he would let me know who it is. He told me, but I just don't remember. But it's a pretty clean car. The color's nice. You know, it's got little chips and stuff here and there. I've never seen the car before other than in pictures. But Lalo's Towing out of Aurora. I'm not even sure if it's exactly what he calls his tow company, but my boy Lalo. Got some nice interior in it, you know. I like it. More original than anything, you know. Got that old style wood wheel. I think this is how he got it. I'm not sure. I don't ask too many questions, but I figured I'd put this thing on video. He was asking me to check out the rear of it. You gonna say hi? Bella Joe's been acting crazy as hell all day. Cheese puff.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. So he was asking me to check out the back of it because if you go around the car and you look, you can see it's an 80 with those taillights. Those are 80 taillights, 80 taillights only. 81 is the baddest taillight out there. It's got all the lines in it and no white for the reverse. Unless it's next to the light plate. But anyway. So the look of the car looks like she just rode her scooter into the couch and flipped over onto the couch. Nice. But it looks like that this side is down in the back. So my floor is pretty level here. This is how I do most of the cars. So I put the tape measure on the ground right there, and I went up to the quarter. I got 27 3/4. So I'm thinking the other side is going to be higher. So I go to the other side. Big Lou was sitting in the chair over there watching me, and he's like, "What is it?" Same exact number, but it looks like it's lower on this side. Doesn't add up at all. So the right spring, you guys will see this. Look at the right spring on the coilover. It's turned up. Look at the left spring. It's turned down. So what they got going on here is this is an old 9-inch housing. It's not no store-bought housing or nothing. The work that's done is nice, but there's some work that it doesn't work. But anyways, what I'm saying about the 9-inch housing. It's an old style 9-inch housing that was most likely in a leaf spring car. And they put their own ears on the top of it, which the way that the ears are set up, it doesn't work. Upper and lower control arms are they're single adjustable, so only one side. Actually, the uppers ain't even double adjustable. They're just up there. So it's gonna need upper and lower double adjustables. What we're thinking is the problem is that the suspension will travel straight up and straight down. It's bound up is what it's doing. You can see it's got the metric calipers on it, which a metric caliper is a G-body front caliper that's put on the back, which this is a 9-inch, so they got the brackets that bolt on there, so that way you can run that metric caliper on the back. And then the rotors are like a Camaro, like a 2000 body Camaro or something like that. Front rotor or rear rotor, I think. But it's got plenty of adjustment for lower control arm. The boxes, it's got a multi-hole box on it. You know, and it's got adjustments for the coilovers. But this arm right here, you guys can't see it from here, but let me show you underneath. The arm has got a bend in it. But if you'd have put a double adjustable with a heim joint there and a heim joint over there, it would have traveled in that area. So having a bend in it like that is making it bind up. Uppers are making it bind up. This wheel, I do believe, is a by, looks like it's a by 9, which is 10 overall, because they frame notched it. They just rolled the tubs in. You can see the notch in the back there, but they did put a plate in it, aftermarket plate. What are they, UMI or All-Star plates for the notches. So anyways, I'm adjusting the alignment on it, and like I said, he wanted me to check out what's wrong with the back so we can figure out what's wrong with the back. The back is going to need double adjustable upper and lower control arms, which is going to correct that, and then it's going to need anti-roll. So haven't told him that yet. I just noticed that Malibu emblem has got an SS sign on it. It's pretty cool. Obviously came off an old body Malibu. These were never an SS. But yeah, it's a clean car. Floor pans are real clean. I think there's one spot in the driver's floor pan on the outside edge by the frame. But beautiful car. He actually has another one, which is a 78 or 79. It's a blue one. It's got a big block and shit in it. But no frame notch in the front for full turn. Like I said, the front does have coilovers in it. The other day, he had brought it by, and I told him go ahead and put brand new ball joints on the top and put them underneath the arm. And that's what he did, and it was able to bring the right wheel, or excuse me, the driver's side wheel out to be straight up. So you can see over here. I mean, basically straight up. It's turned in a little bit, but I'm gonna take care of that in a minute. But yeah, it's just a small block, you know, it's a little small block. It's got a spacer plate on there, 2-inch. Some basic headers, you know. I think this is more his cruiser that he's getting ready, and I think the other one's more for race. But nice, clean, solid car. And it's an 80, you know, 80, 81. There's not too much different in the grille and the headlight setup, which, I mean, could be an 81 front end, but I think there really isn't that much difference in the front end. 81 is my favorite, the headlight setup and the taillight setup, but I'd take any Malibu, you know. I've had a few over the years. But all right, I figured I'd show you guys this. Ain't no sense in showing you more of the back. I'm just gonna get this alignment on here, and he can come back and pick it up. The Infinity is gone. I just posted that video, which I'll post this video too today. But yeah, all right, y'all. Bankroll Tim, bet it up. El Camino's still sitting here. They're coming to pick it up, but they're gonna be dropping off a dunk to take its place, because they're coming all the way from Indiana, so there's no sense in the tow truck coming empty. Come out here and grab it. So bringing me another job. Boom. I still got all these rear ends. Boom. I did have my kids strip out this 96. They took it all out, threw all the guts away. I mean, I kept the axles, they're right here. But those are the new axles for it. I think I did go 2 3/4 or 3 inches, 2 3/4, something like that. But I'll measure up the difference so I get the axle exact, and mark this, get the backing plates off there, mark that, cut that. So I'm gonna get that done tomorrow. I gotta put the gear and the bearing, you know, the posi, the bearing kit, all that, the gear. I gotta put all that shit together, set the back layers, boom. So I'll get that all cleaned up, get the ends cut, boom, get it narrowed, clock the ends a little bit just in case later on, if he goes with aftermarket brake setup, it'll already be clocked. He's got a 7-inch lip wheel on his car. It is that burgundy color, 96 Impala SF. So I got to get that done because he's on me, and I got to get the 12 bolt done, which this one's more work. Like I said, I got to cut all the shit off of there, the lower buckets, all that, because it's getting super drop boxes. I know I'll be going over the same shit over and over, but I try to keep everybody posted. Haven't been able to get on this, and I took the rear end out of this, which is laying right there. So I'll be able to fab that one up too, but I can't. I gotta do all the bracing underneath the car first before I can even cut the frame out. But I'm gonna be on this one too. Ladder bar cross member right there, boom, start bracing it up. So I'm gonna have an opening here. The one loose end that I have out there, the 77 Bonneville, will be getting dropped off Friday. And I'm gonna be able to, well, I got a white box Chevy to do a rear end narrow and put some control arms, anti-roll on real fast. That'll be dropped off tomorrow, so that'll go right on the lift. That 96 Impala SS rear end right there is for it, so I gotta strip that one, and I got the gear and the posi and all that stuff over there to put in that one, and axles, which are right back there, to go on that one, boom, and then some Millwood brakes to put on that one, blah, blah, blah. So that'd be the one going on the lift tomorrow, and that'd be the one I'm thrashing on to get done, and then I can get the 77 Bonneville up there on the lift, so I can start on it, and then I have everything situated. That's the last loose end that I have out there. Everybody that's been waiting, you just got to keep waiting, you know. Everybody that I've said to keep hitting me, you've been hitting me. Don't think that I haven't seen it. I have seen it. I got the text messages and all that stuff. I just have a lot going on for one person up in the shop trying to make it happen. I'm finally getting to be caught up 100%. Well, closer to being caught up 100%. But all right, y'all, I'm just gonna ramble. This was mostly about this panel and alignment. Yeah, give you guys another look at these wheels. I like these wheels. Not too many billets out there that I don't like. And the color on this car is nice. Like right now, seeing it on the camera looks way better than seeing it how I'm looking at it in the shop, because the car's dirty right now. But it looks real good out in the sun. I should have filmed it earlier outside, but yeah, everybody, I'm trying to keep things going. Like I said, I can't get nothing done of older work if I don't have new, quick little work to do to make sure the bills are paid. So, but all right, I know I'll be talking too much. All right, y'all, Bankroll Tim, battered up, 80 Malibu. I'm out. Appreciate y'all. And I'm back. All right, y'all, check it out. So I got the rear end welded up in there. So I squared it all up where I wanted it to be, where I want my ride height to be. Welded the tubes in here. Now the rear end's locked. The uppers are totally where they need to be, the length of them, everything. And of course, cut the box off. Boom. I gotta clean all this up, get it all off here. Rear end will be getting the ends clocked. Okay, so this is 9-inch, new style big Ford bolt circle right here. Takes the big 9-inch bearing, boom. So it needs to be clocked, because if I was to put it together, the caliper would be right here by the frame. So we can't have that, so we need the caliper down here. So I'm gonna clock these ends. Well, I was waiting for the brake kit to get here. The brake kit came, and if you see that bolt circle right there, that bolt circle is 10 bolt, 12 bolt, not 9-inch. The axles right there, 9-inch. So we figured out the business. Obviously this kit was sent, and you can see the center board is really big. That's where the 9-inch bearing goes through. So the one piece, these are the retainer plates that hold the axle in through here, you know. The one piece we did not have, which I have a set of on the shelf, is a Chevy 10 bolt, 12 bolt end that takes the 9-inch bearing. So now I will be cutting these ends off anyways to clock them. Run my bar through there, narrow it, or you know, the narrowing bar to keep everything square. So now this one will be put back in its place, but it will be clocked down. So then we're changing from the 9-inch bolt circle to the 10 bolt, 12 bolt circle. The bearing, of course, that's what this is made for the 9-inch axle to go right in here. So makes it, you know, 9-inch style, bolt and axle style, boom, real business. All this happens in my shop because I'm a custom fabricator. I cut all this stuff off, figure out the job on hand, and if I run into problems, I figure out how to get it to work without major problems. So again, this box, super drop box on here, we want it to be, which you can see I got that mark right there, so that will be center of this. This is like 2 1/4 wide, so it'll be 1 1/8 inch. I'll have the mark, you know, on here, but that's where I want it to be, so that would be center. You can see the frame will come down, everything will be clear there. The brackets will be welded onto the back of here. My dog's over there barking, growling. Envy, Envy, you old girl. Let the people that used to watch all the time see that you're still around. 9 1/2 years old. Getting ornery, huh? She's a bully. She's a very expensive dog, but she's good. Envy baby. So, anyways, all the bars are in there that I wanted. Everything's painted, boom. Like I said, painted the upper tray, all that. I had to clean it up with the drill, painted it all, boom. Like I said, this is tied into here. This is tied into here. See how the bolt is in there? This is tied into here, boom, triangulated, boom, boom, boom. This torque box and this under pressure. Not saying that this is gonna be a race car going to the track, but if you wanted to go to the track, it'll be fine. It's not gonna bend these up into the floor, twist it, and mess everything up. Once again, I did not frame notch or tub this car. It was previously like that. And I might have the story a little different, but it don't matter. In here, working on this. It's Friday. I had to go pick up a few sets of axles. I got this rear end and the El Camino to fab up. This 12 bolt to fab up. 96 and pallets S rear end to fab up. 96 and pallets S rear end to fab up. 9 inch to fab up. And then I had a job come back because the axles were too tight and it was keeping the true track locked, so it was making a noise. So took the axles out, ordered a set of motor axles, but we're gonna go ahead and make it a little shorter. I'm a fabricator. I fabricate. That's why all this stuff is going down in my shop. That's why I have stuff like this in my shop. Loose stuff like this, strips like that, tubing, a mess. But yes, so basic feature on this is this El Camino 68 and what I'm doing to it. So the brake kit is right there. So there is brake kits out there if you wanted to put a 10 bolt, 12 bolt end on your 9 inch and use the 10 bolt, 12 bolt brakes on a 9 inch. You just got to change the ends. So you can even order it. Like I said, you could order the housing with the 10 bolt, 12 bolt end for the 9 inch bearing and retainer plates. So black 4-piston calipers going on the back. But yes, slowly but surely, I'm gonna go ahead and figure out exactly, like I said, I figured out that mark, boom. It has the coilover. These, 2 per side, so I'll be taking these and cutting them off. And these will be getting welded to the housing, so we can use this setup on there, and the shock will bolt to here. Just a nicer, better, more mean looking, aggressive looking setup. Nicer. And of course we got the 10s. We're gonna go with 10s on here. 10s meaning the shock is a C217 shock, so it's only 10 inches. Whatever, the spring is a 10 DP 250. So that way the back, because as you can see, not that much travel. and the area in which we're working in. When I put the cross brace across here, a 12-inch would probably be just too far down. And we don't want to be too far down. I mean, the box is going to be down, but we want to be right on the mid to lower part of the box. We don't want to be longer than the box with a 12-inch coilover. So, different length coilovers out there. Like I said, this is custom. It's custom. That's why there's a K in my business name of It Up Kustoms. Customs, because K is custom. But yes, more on the El Camino. I'm gonna cut this up, grind it. Got in there first with just the Sawzall. You can see the Sawzall blade, and just cut it off. Left a piece on there. I'm gonna try to cut the other side the same. Maybe these pieces will come in handy later for something, I don't know. Or they'll just become scrap pieces that I'll cut and use to fab some other shit. Because, once again, I'm a custom fabricator. I'm not a parts changer. I love saying that. But alright, y'all, I'll be back with more on the Elko. Alright, y'all, check it out. Got the bracing painted up. Only got a couple little spots on the exhaust of the paint, but I tightened the exhaust back up by the V-bands. Boom, I tried to make them sit, you know, kind of the same. Boom. Everything is somewhat set. I still gotta jam the controller and stuff like that, but I'm gonna set it down and see how it reacts. Which, like I said, the wheel gap is it's only about a 2-inch squish when it goes down. So it should be right back to where it was. I mean, I didn't change spring pressure or nothing. The only thing that is possibly different is the adjustment height here. We're gonna find out where that's at here in a minute when I set it down. But this is what I'm gonna show you guys. Boom. Yeah, I don't have the nuts on there yet. I wanna see how it sits. Just put the wheels on. Just so you get this look-see of that. Car squats pretty hard. And that was the thing, is that it's got so much weight in the trunk that it was bending that little bolt bracket, like I said earlier. And good thing it was only a short little bit. How the hell did you do that? But anyways, so what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by the wife over there. Yeah. So this is not the way that I would have normally set up this stuff. You guys watch everything. If you look up on top here at the upper control arm and the anti-roll, okay, see that? What looks like a scuff? That is a scuff, and it's from the top of this arm hitting there. And I've explained before in my videos, that's what happens when you're tucking hard and people put a front. This one's actually got a front cross member in it. There's just no point in doing a front cross member. The coilover should be off the back of the rear end. On here, I can see, you know, this rear end might have came with the back brace on it from whatever company this is. So you can see where that is. It would have probably been right here. So the back brace would have came into play. But what you would have done is you would have cut into the back brace, cut this piece off to be able to get your center, so that way the brackets would slide through here. There's another shop out here that did one of these on the back of somebody's rear end that had a brace, and they didn't cut into this. They just put the bracket underneath it, so it only had 3 holes for the bracket underneath. So basically the height of the car was the height of the car. So dumb luck when he set it down that it was kind of near the height that he wanted, or he loosened the spring up some, but it was real jacked up looking. But same thing on this side, you would just cut into this, cut it off, clean it up, cap that end back off. I mean, obviously if you're fabricating or welding brackets on, that's what you would do. So you just shorten the brace a little bit so that way the coilovers can be on the back. The tailpipes, everybody thinks that you can't have tailpipes. You can have tailpipes. Obviously, if you can see right here, anti-roll's here, and if the coilover was here, you would be able to slide right through here. If you put the coilover in a little bit more, you can actually run the tailpipe right. I mean, look at how much room's here. You know, you can come out over here and bam. So a lot can be done differently as long as you have skills and just, you know, do things custom. A lot of these guys just pull cars in and just weld some shit on real fast or booger it up or whatever and roll it out. Parts changers in and out, in and out, in and out. Okay, that's cool. I'm a custom fabricator. It Up Kustoms. Kustoms is spelled with a K. Kustoms is spelled with a K because I do shit custom. I actually do custom fabrication. This ain't no bought kit right here. Excuse me. This was a bought ladder bar cross member. That's what it's called. You can buy it with the ladder bar brackets or without. It's like $100 and it gives you this bend in it. And then you can put it on the frame. I dropped down on the frame because, like I said, look at the floor and how far. I couldn't be back here where we would normally go because of the exhaust and stuff, and how it bent down. If I'd have paid attention in the beginning and noticed the V-bands, I could have, you know, twisted them up, but then, you know, it's welded here. So if I'd have twisted the muffler up on this side and then twisted the muffler up on this side, it just would have looked goofy underneath here, you know, which, whatever, it would have worked. But if you're gonna do exhaust and you want frame bracing, do the frame bracing, basically have the mufflers that you want to use and how you want the mufflers to sit. Do the frame bracing based on that. Obviously, if this car was fully frame braced, the sides would be done. This cross member, you could tie into it and make it a removable here. So you cut it here, put the two tabs, you know, with the 4 bolts, so that way you could make it removable. You could tie into here. But I mean, that's with using this custom frame bracing. Obviously, you would weld your bar to the bar here, come across, and you could put circles in it with some thicker tube, or you can bend it up to fit the floor better. Boom. So you can still run your exhaust underneath of it. Turbo cars, you know, with no exhaust, frame brace can be done because there's no mufflers in the way. But yes, we are going to set it down now and see if this angle, now you can see it better, this angle, I'm wondering if this spring is going to come real close to the top, you know, when I set it down. But it's only going to go down, it's 2 inches, so we're about to find out. So let me get right back to this, set it down, and we'll look in the wheels and see what's going on. Back in a minute. What up? All right, I'm back. So took a little longer than expected. I wasn't too sure of a couple things, but as you can see, there's the there's the coilover lower bracket. Needed to be longer because of how far the shock was down, but from the stock position of where that bracket was and the spacer with the other setup, it's about 1 inch farther forward, so it puts the coilover on an angle this way. So I was worried that if I welded these on, which I did weld them on, so I figured out, you know, and like I said, look, I got nothing to hide. Nothing to hide with my welds. Again, nothing to hide with my welds. And that's, you know, without putting a scuff across it, wire brush, anything across it. So the little burn marks are just, you know, damn, it's still hot. Yeah, see how it came out? So anyways, I was worried that that angle, when I put the car down, that the tip, the spring of the coilover would hit here. But I don't even know where the height needs to be set yet on the coilovers. I was going off of where they put them in the top, and see how the tabs are. Those are the long tabs for the coilover brackets right there, boom. So if I had a set of short tabs, I could have cut those off, reset everything, boom. But I mean, the job is the job, you know, so trying to work with what I have and not have to do too much because it's a quick in and out. So if worst comes to worst, this bracket is taller than the other bracket because, like I said, this is an 11-hole bracket compared to the 9-hole bracket. So if I gotta cut this top hole off on an angle so the spring doesn't hit here when it goes down. But where this rear end is sitting right now is only a 2-inch difference, like I said, in height wise. So the rear end just needs to drop down, or it is, you know, 2 inches. So we'll see where that sits, and then depending on where I put the gold brackets on here. But all the bracing is in there. I'm gonna paint it. I just welded these, like I said, they're hot. Boom. So I welded this one first, and I welded that one. So they're a little warm, but all the other setup is on there. I know I didn't get an in between because the other night when I cleaned these up and fitted these in here, fish mouthed it right here and fitted it to this, and I put these in. I should have filmed some of those steps, but it was late. What was it, late Friday night when I was doing all that. Then yesterday when I got here, I had to take the Matco arms off, put these arms on, readjust all that, take the exhaust off, so the V-band here, the V-band up here, loosen it so I could twist the pipes out of my way so I could get up into the top up there to weld, to get up on top of here and weld, so I can get it all welded in. I put another little weld right here so that way the bar is to the back of this, which of course, this is your torque box right here. This is your torque box. Under a load, these arms on the lower push. They bend this frame rail area, the bracket, they bend them up. So it makes this whole bracket go up and hit the car here, which brings your tire forward, and your tire ends up getting close to the quarter right there. So any of you guys out there, you got some power and stuff like that, and you notice your clearance of your tire on this side and the other side with spools and shit like that in the rear end, or with, you know, having some power and these arms pushing up on that torque box and flexing your frame. And if you got a frame notch, you know, the frame is thinner, so then it pushes this up. Watch your frame notch, see if there's cracks in it. But if you notice your tire gap, one time you stop and your tire gap is real close, and the next time it's boom, you're most likely bending your torque boxes, so you need to get them braced up. Now they have those kits that go in the back side of here that braces like this to there, but if you got a frame notch, your frame rail is kind of thin, you made this area weaker to where it's going to want to bend upwards. So even putting just a brace across here, you know what I'm saying, those square triangulated ones, you could still end up bending this up. Turbo Joe's car, he bent these with those braces behind there, bent these straight up into his floor and pushed the floor in. That's why my brother Mike, MSC Race Cars, did all that badass bracing underneath his car to tie his car completely together, because over the years, you know, that car's been out a long time, and what, racing since 2015 at the track and shit like that. So that's what, 7 years? 7 years, and it, you know, his frame just kept tweaking. When it got frame notched, it just made the rail thinner, and when it made the rail thinner, it just made it, you know, weaker through this area. So this ladder bar cross member tied into the frame there, then it ties into here, boom, then it ties into the upper tray, which keeps it all tied together, so you can't, it won't bend now. It won't bend. I mean, this is just a street car, but you'll probably see the track. But, you know, more knowledge. And if there's other people out there that think different, whatever, you know, comment, let me know. But all right, I'm about to paint, drop them lowers back down because I don't have them bolted in. I just gotta take the bolt out, drop it down out the way, get everything painted, hold a piece of cardboard so I don't overspray on the exhaust and shit. But I'll get all that painted up, which, yeah, a little boogered up right there. The undercoating on the frame. And like I said, I had the 24 wire in the machine, which was an old spool of wire that was around. I used 30 wire, so I had to buy a new spool, and I bought it yesterday from Farm and Fleet. But the old spool, it was just a ragged, you know what? It was, I've had it around for a while. Let's see, did I throw it in here? All right, so see the color of it? The color is not really, I don't know what it was with it, but this is 24, real small wire. So it would burn and back into the tip of the gun and splat on the floor and shit. And and with the frame having the undercoat and all that. But this spool's been around here for a while, and I think I meant to throw it away a long time ago. Like I was saying, see, 24. I think this I ended up with because it was in a box that said 30, but it was actually 24. But it's just, I don't know, weathered or something to where it just don't want to weld. But I didn't have to tell you guys that, but I did because just keeping it real, keeping it 100. All right, y'all, let me button all this stuff back up, put some paint on here, and I will definitely, oh, almost tripped over my baby scooter. Get these coilovers back on here. See if I can't drop this thing down, see where it sits. But once I bolt all that stuff back up, I will, well, you know what? I'll just continue this. I'll be back in a second.